Hey everyone, welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. Last time we investigated,
Yes.
I guess what you would call a Numenera dungeon. It was some hidden area of high technology that had been taken over by some alien AI. Anyway, we went in, we killed some drones, we reprogrammed the computers, and now I think we are heading off to the Valley of Dead Heroes. Not only is it the place where our main quest goes to, but I think we're kind of running out of things to do here. So we need to go to the caravanserai,
Yes.
where we can maybe hitch a ride there. It looks like maybe I should heal up first too. So
Yes. Now.
Yep. Well, go ahead.
All right. Go.
There we go. For some reason it wasn't going. So I'm not sure I've ever talked about this before, but I usually go and record games. Like right now I'm recording in the morning before I go to work.
I'm going.
And it's just that time of year where it's dark when I get up. So it's a little... You know, there are times when I'm recording and, let's see, I would like to have a room for the night. Oh wow, I'm getting pretty loaded here. Over 600 shins. But, there we go.
Fine.
Yeah, so normally I get up and at least by the time I'm recording it's light out, but it's still dark.
It's a plan.
And so I had to have an extra coffee to make sure that I would be awake enough to do this. So it's dark, and yet
Let's do it.
it's still kind of warm. I don't get that. Let's see. We need to go over here, right?
Action! Here I come!
Action, here I come. And off to talk to Master Renio here. He turns from his observation of the laborers and asks, "How may I assist you? I need to fly to the Valley of Dead Heroes." "Excellent timing. My vessel will be departing shortly. Board at your leisure." "I should also warn you that we won't be able to retrieve you from the valley. We never tarry there. Its energies are not good for our ship's engines." Alrighty, let's depart. He smiles broadly and the tension seems to drain from him. My favorite words. All here then? The wind is right for us. Let's sail, friends. So, we might not be coming back here. He begins shouting commands to his crew and they cast off the mooring lines. The airship pushes away from the spire and the city of your birth falls away below you. Well, actually, I assume we will be back because we're trying to fix that resonance chamber, which is back here. And off we go.
I'll remember that.
Alright, Monuments to the Past, achievement unlocked. Wow, they weren't kidding about they weren't going to leave. They basically let us touch down and that was it. Even as he stalks towards you for a moment, it appears as if the man is unaware of your presence. He stops in front of you. Rocking ever so gently, he stares right through you, murmuring under his breath. Chanting or insane rambling, you draw closer and notice the scars he bears upon his face. Then his gaze matches yours and suddenly grows silent. He sees you now. His eyes flicker across your face and pause on your tattoo. He bows, his movements stiff and halting. Then with blinding speed, his hand snakes out and brushes a speck of dust from your shirt. The hand is gone before you can react. "I am Klenkar, and these are my associates. You were in the Valley of Dead Heroes." His jagged smile is rimmed with blood. "Two memorialists have escaped us. You will find them. We need them." She mutters to you. Makina mutters to you. "These are the followers of our brother An affair. I don't know much about them except they believe in blood. Tread carefully. Let's see. Why do you want to find them? He hisses out a long exhalation of breath. We must open the endless gate, find the missing memorialists. But why must you open the endless gate? He smiles beatifically, exposing his bloody gums. It is what we are called to do, and who are we to disobey the call when it comes? Are you children of the Endless Gate? Do you know Kiatawa from the Sage's Cliffs? He looks at you suspiciously. I am not familiar with her, though one of the brethren did come to us recently from Sage's Cliffs. Perhaps Motley will know. You can inquire of him in the necropolis as soon as you find our missing friends. Okay, so these are, if that's true, these guys are the member of the same cult of the woman who was murdering people back in Sage's Cliffs. So, that's not great. So, these people just walked up to us and said, you will find these people. I don't know. I'm going to assume that they don't mean anything good to those people, but I don't know, and they're not really telling us anything, but as soon as you find our missing friends, I am not much for an intimidation, but this seems like the only way that I don't really want to lie to them, but I'm not going to offer to help them, so there'll be 3 fresh corpses here in a moment if you don't clear the path. Oh, this is a tough one. Let's see. How about Makina? She's pretty intimidating. So it looks like 55% is the best I can do. So I can spend 3 points for 55%. Or Alligaran can spend 2 points for 55%. Makina can spend all of her points for 55%. Eratus could spend 2 points. Let's let Alligaran do it. There we go. Yeah, he is pretty intimidating. What did that say? Oh, Red Tide. He opens his mouth to speak. His gaze lingers again on your tattoo. He closes his mouth quickly and raises his hands in the air. Stepping backwards, he motions to his compatriots that they should do the same. He whispers to the other 2. He shares our Lord's tattoo. Do not harm him. Please forgive our presumption. We did not intend offense. Please pass along. Alright. So already making friends in the Valley of Dead Heroes. Oh, and more people. Beltrax. Well, my friend, I have no idea why you're so generous with your time and your life, but your bravery is beyond reproach. I have some small familiarity with the weapons I carry, but I'd rather not try my prowess against 3 of them at once, and I vowed to Ronos that I'd keep him safe. I do not know how it is that they left without doing you harm. Is there any chance you might tell me? Oh, so apparently these were the 2 guys they were looking for. Is there any chance you might tell me? I gave them a good reason to seek their prey elsewhere. He laughs and runs his thumbs across his weapons. I've some experience with that, my friend. Well done. His companion is a slight nervous man in a hooded robe of blue and white. He bows. I am sorry you had to face those cultists. We hid and well. He bows, a small tremble in his hands as he does so. I have a favor to request. Boy, a lot of people asking us for stuff without even knowing us. Those cultists, the children of the Endless Gate, They have overrun the Valley of Dead Heroes. They slaughter the visitors. They hound us, the memorialists, and have brought horror to every corner of this ancient place. Please, you have shown your mettle in dealing with these murderers. I beg of you, please find a way to make them move on. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yep.
I'll remember that.
He sags with relief. Thank you, friend. The coming of the children has been a relentless nightmare for us. I wish you the best of luck. But tell me about these memorialists. We're ordinary people, really. People who understand the truth that this world is really the afterlife, and that the tombs here are our graves. We maintain the valley so that no name is forgotten, so that everyone can come here and remember their true selves. Once all the tombs have been claimed, we shall see a glorious resurgence of humanity. Likewise, if we allow the names to be forgotten, devastation will sweep across the land. Okay, tell me about the Valley of Dead Heroes. It has been a burial ground for the world for at least 1,000,000 years, yet we have uncovered no bodies in the valley itself. Oh no. Despite all the memorials, obelisks, and urns above the ground, we have not been able to find evidence of a single body. Markers exist beyond counting. Some are in scripts we cannot understand. Some are in materials we have never seen, but the bodies themselves lie in a great space beneath the ground. Above the ground there is no sign of life, none at all, except what we bring with us. And tell me about yourself. My true name is Ronos Kaisul of the Memorialists. I came here from Sage's Cliffs to inter my beloved wife. That was over a decade ago. I remained because I felt a close connection to the place, somehow. When I discovered the name of my true self, I knew. This world is the afterlife, and the graves here are our own. Now I study the world of the living, hoping to bring others the enlightenment I reached. I'm looking for the tomb of the first Castoff. Matt Keena says, I know where it is. Isn't that why you asked me to come along? We need to get to the necropolis up along the cliff face. We'll have to use those minims to get up there. But it's easy enough. Ronos bows nervously. This is truth. This is true. You must be strong or careful, though, or both. The children are vicious and unpredictable. Farewell. Let's talk to Beltrax here. Hello again, my friend. How long have the cultists been here? They came to the valley recently, perhaps a month, perhaps only a week or two. Maybe some of them have been here for longer than that, I don't know. The children's arrival was slow and insidious. They didn't make the ruckus they're making now. Then a few days ago they just went berserk, started abducting and slaughtering, and, well, here we are. What can you tell me about the valley? It's a vast graveyard of sorts. But you're not going to find any bodies here above ground. You'll need to get to the necropolis to find the real tombs, but to get there you've got to use the minims, floating pools of light, and when you walk into one, you walk out its twin someplace else. Interesting. And tell me about yourself. This sounds embarrassing when I say it out loud, but I came here to meet with a sorcerer to quest for a fabled magic board. Board, not sword. I haven't met the sorcerer yet, but I did meet a memorialist. She told me about the work they do here, about this being the afterlife, that the names we bore in life are hidden in the valley and the names of the dead, who she called the truly living. I have to admit that was about the most carked tripe I had ever heard. But she said something after, shadows fall where they will, as they will, meaning if we're shadows of other lives then, like shadows, we can't control what we are. That stuck with me. What if she's right? He plucks one of the lockets from his bandolier, pops it open, and reveals a glowing image of a woman. He regards it wistfully. What if she's still alive somewhere? What if this isn't life? If I'm just a shadow waiting to step into the light? What if she's there waiting for me? It's preposterous, I know. You look at it from the outside, and it's... But think about it. This world is flat and cold and empty. It feels right to believe there's another life, one that feels like living. So I've been learning more. Ronos was my guide through the valley when those carkers came upon us. We crawled into a sepulcher behind those boards, and, well, you know the rest. Thanks. Safe travels with you. I suppose we can go into the hiding place.
Yes.
Guess not. Yeah, let's start looting graves. Or, I guess that wasn't a grave.
Fine.
Okay, so we are actually making friends here. And just to remind ourselves, we are looking for... I'm looking for a guy named Mazov, who's a talented builder and artificer. I hope to find him a meal of vest, a refuge of sort from my Castoff siblings. Okay, so I saw passage here. Yeah, I already did that. I've arrived in the Valley of Dead Heroes. Now I need to locate the first Castoff's tomb. The passage to Meal of Vest is supposedly inside the tomb. Okay. And some of my secondary quests went away. That's interesting. Get into the Necropolis tombs. I guess the secondary quests are only... No, this is back from Sage's Cliffs. Isn't it? No, it's not. That's interesting.
Algern, you are lucky to have met me.
My thoughts exactly.
We're sharing thoughts? That's wonderful. Oh, listen. What am I thinking now?
I'm going to leave Algern alone.
One moment, and it's done.
Yeah, they're funny.
I need to talk to you.
Oh, really? While we're in the valley, I've got a place I'd like to visit. My village's monument. I haven't been there in a while and I need to pay my respects. It's not far from here, so it's really not out of the way. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. What do you know about the valley, anyway? Burial place for countless civilizations, not in the valley itself, but below it. My Aldelia's memorial's here. It used to be peaceful, serene, a place where people could come and think for a spell. I've never been to the necropolis, never really had an urge to see it. None of my dead left any remains anyway. How you holding up? As well as could be expected. Okay. Talkative as ever.
Right.
Let's see. Any of the rest of you guys know anything?
Oh! The Valley of Dead Heroes. I like it here. There's absolutely no place we should avoid completely.
Okay, so he's not too happy here. Glad to hear it. Me too. I'm glad to hear the things I'm saying of my own free will. He swallows hard.
I'll remember that.
Every inch of this valley is packed with adventure. Interesting people, places to explore, like... We should explore all of it, even the alcoves. I'm not afraid of any of it. Stop shouting at me. Who's shouting at you? No one? No one is? But his lips are moving when he finishes speaking, framing the same phrase over and over. You watch him until you understand the words. Stop talking, Eridas. Are you alright? He sways on his feet, lifts his head to the sky, and his glow returns to full strength. He smiles at you, every trace of his momentary discomfort gone. Of course, we're facing a new adventure. I couldn't be better. Then his gaze slips from yours to fix on empty air or something only he can see. Okay. Makina.
What now?
What can you tell me about the valley? No bodies above ground, just memorials, markers, obelisks. Some past worlds scoured the valley and made sure that nothing could survive here. I've heard people who came with the intent of leaving a body above ground, and they wound up putting it in the necropolis anyway. The valley does strange things to people's minds. Never spent much time here, just passing through to get to Mila Vest. How are you holding up? I'll stick with you. You're a different breed from the rest of us. You're making progress. Tell me about the siblings again. Here it comes. I'm ready for the litany. All you newborns have it. Alright, go. How have you avoided the sorrow? What can you tell me about it? I know a little more than you. They might know more in Mila Vest. What I can tell you for sure is it hates us Castoffs. You're never sure when it'll come. It comes for each of us like we're calling to it. As for how I avoid the sorrow, well, you ever get the feeling that someone is looking at you? The sorrow's attention is like that, except it feels like you've made an enemy. The creeping paranoia that is coming for you, slow urgency mounts. and you start to feel like you need to lash out. But what I do, I run, I leave, and I don't come back. Try to throw off whatever scent it's picked up, and after a while the pressure eases, and I can come back again. I don't try to go somewhere safe, like Mila Vest. It'll find me eventually. It always finds us. The best we can do is postpone the inevitable. Wow. What can you tell me about Mila Vest? Castoffs needed a place to hide from the sorrow and work on a way to defeat it. The bloom eats people, so they couldn't hide there. The first and our worthless sire built Mila Vest so they could research in peace. The place became a beacon for our kind, and people started to put up homes inside the shields. After our sister and our father had their falling out and started the endless battle, the rest of them chose sides. For most people, it seems like this is some great existential struggle, but it's just a family squabble that got out of hand. Anyway, things got bad, so sorrow started making more appearances, and people needed a place to hide, so Mila Vest became neutral ground. Okay. Let's continue.
All right.
What is this? This kind of looks like one of the things in the labyrinth. A sliver of darkness hangs before you like the entrance of a cave, except there is no cave, only a tear in space. Within the darkness you see the glow of stars, and a cool night breeze wafts past you, carrying the scent of desert flowers and the echoes of sounds you are not hearing around you. If you step through the darkness, you might go anywhere, and maybe nowhere. It could be nothing but a shadow. Examine it more closely. The cool air that sighs through it seems to follow you. The shadow does not change no matter your perspective. You have the discomforting feeling that your attention on it has drawn its attention to you, that is somehow examining, analyzing, and assessing you. It's interesting. There's like... The only way I'm going to find out what it is if I go through it, right?
Yes.
Fine. Let's find out where it goes. You step into the darkness and it envelops you, then dissolves you into twinkling motes, drifting in a spear of light. The light carries you through a black void, weightless, bodiless, selfless, towards another patch of starry sky. Then suddenly you are somewhere else. Oh. Hey, Persea. He wouldn't follow me here, would he? Oh, this is that woman that, in Sage's Cliffs, we found a guy that was looking for his love, who had purple hair. Like, this woman has purple hair. And, we sent him somewhere else because he seemed kind of creepy, and it turned out he didn't. The story he told us wasn't exactly true. So let's see. You recognize this woman from the description that Omadon gave you in Sage's Cliffs. This is Persea, Omadon's lost love. She certainly doesn't appear as confused as Omadon made her sound. Instead, she's studying the necropolis with a frustrated expression. Persea, isn't it? A man named Omadon was looking for you. I sent him in the wrong direction. You what? She says, whirling around. Her eyes are wide, pale circles. She studies your face, smiles a little, and relaxes. Good. I hope the wrong direction was an Ember Scion vent. She turns back to the necropolis. Damnable cultists. I need to get back inside, but I can't risk. She catches your eye. Never mind. None of this is your concern. You've done more than enough. This is something I need to handle myself. There's a lot of that going on. Let's see. What's this thing over here? No. Talk. Oh. A large upside-down pyramid floats above you, lit from below by a soft white light. It is made of weathered stone, but you can see lights and hear faint buzzing through the cracks in its crumbling facade. Examine it. You study it from every side. There's no inscription to explain why it was erected or by whom, nor is there any obvious way to interact with it. You do notice that the light from inside the cracks seems to follow your hand as you slide across, so perhaps it is reacting to you after all. Let's try to figure out how the pyramid works. Does anybody know anything about mystical stuff? Nope. Let's see. Let's leave. I'm going to... I think this will probably be a good place for mystical lore.
Just what I needed.
So let's try that again, now that we've got our flex skill. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to click this guy. This. Talk, interact. That's what I meant to do. Try to figure out how the pyramid works. Let's spend a point on that. 75%. Success. You slide your hands across the pyramid, following not the cracks but the symbols and the etchings on its surface. After a great deal of experimentation and not a small amount of luck, you discover a specific pattern which causes the light to grow in intensity. As it does so, a soft warmth envelops you, refreshing your body and mind. As you feel better, however, the pyramid seems to grow more dim. Restored intellect and might. You stop, not wanting to waste the pyramid's obvious healing power just yet. Should be saved for a time when you really need it. Now. Okay, so we got...
the boredom slayer.
He certainly is a boredom slayer. Let's see, what do we have here? Blob of 3. Shut up. No, you shut up. Okay, so I can go back down here and go in the front gate. Oh, look, it's got... Okay, so there are like multiple passageways. That's interesting. Who are you? Got to be another way out of here. Okay. This androgynous woman projects an air of fearsome will. Her muscles are thin and wiry, and her body screams of sharp edges. She seems like a human stiletto. Her head is shaved, and she bears the tattoo of a Castoff on her scalp. Never seen you before, she says. I'm Barricale Bruna. She starts scanning the cliffside. How long you been awake since you moved out? Of your body, I mean? Makina says, he's not joining Paj. He's not joining Paj, Barricale. Not if I have anything to do with it. Not particularly interested in recruiting anyone, Makina. Not my mission. You still mad about Colm? Still carrying that grudge? She looks at you and jerks her thumb at Makina. All the people she fought so hard to save, they're all dead. Natural causes? She shrugs. But you don't carry a grudge for natural causes. I'm starting to remember why I left Mila Vest. I'm starting to remember why we encouraged you to leave. Anyway, was on my way to Mila Vest with a message for Paj Rickon, but the portals are blocked. The cowards heard someone say the Sorrow's hunting again, so they locked the doors behind themselves. Paj will get her message later. I need to return to the endless battle. Tell me about Paj Rickon. Oh right, you're new. Paj is the commander of the First's militia. Took up the mantle, keeping our cursed sire's forces contained. Smart woman, tough. Thought the First was dead. She is. Paj kept the name in the First's honor. She doesn't care for the glory. Besides, our creator's carked. Fighting him's the best bet. Using the First name reminds everyone why we fight. Why would you fight the changing god? He's going to kill us all if he gets the chance. He wants to erase us. Thinks that's the way to stop the sorrow. But we're not children to him. We're like broken clones, byproducts. He'd never sacrifice himself, but that's because he's the only real person in the world. What's the message you have for her? Perhaps I could deliver it. Endless battle intelligence, not for you. Tell me about the endless battle. If it's really endless, why keep fighting? Makes us stronger, faster, deadlier, more of what we are. Strips away the dross of life and makes experience shine. Peacetime is dull and worthless, like watching life go past through a veil. War clarifies life, makes us better. Endless is a good thing if you keep that in mind. What can you tell me about Mila Vest? She stares at you flatly for a moment. You get a tickling at the back of your mind, and she shrugs. See for yourself if you can get in. They've locked themselves away. I think they're going to find answers while they're tucked away from the world. Place has its uses, true, but it's mostly a bolt hole from the world. Death comes from us all, for us all. Mila Vest is just a place to prolong the waiting. What's cowardly about keeping the sorrow out of Mila Vest? Hasn't found them there for 100 years, but now they say it's time to close the doors, like it's going to traipse in. Been telling them that if the sorrow tries hard enough, it'll get in. Can't stop that kind of power. McKenna says, on that we agree. Mila Vest is a false hope. Always were smart about that. Pity you're not so reasonable on the rest. Be seeing you. No, you won't. I'm done looking for a way over these twice-damned mountains. Gonna find a different way out of the valley. Been real good talking to you, though. Nope. With that, she strides off. Wow, Castoffs are such a likable
Look out below!
group.
Above! Sideways!
Who are these guys? You see a slender woman covered in worn brown robes leaning over the fire, the cowl pulled low over her head. Her skin is a dark bronze color. Here to interrogate me? She pulls back her cowl enough for you to see that her long hair is more silver than brown, and the years of her life on the road are apparent on her face. She looks weary and exhausted except for her eyes, which burn like golden fire. I am Thalana Marquareth. What do you will? Her eyes alight on your tattoo, and she hisses. Skist. You bastards are all over the place here, eh? Look, I can't tell you about anything. Alright, we're done with the fighting. What are you talking about? You're a cast-off, so you're either here to drag us back or kill us. She turns to the side and pauses as if listening to the words you cannot hear. Then she responds, No, I suppose you're right. Still, he's a cast-off. Allegern. More detritus from the changing god's arrogance. More damage caused by cast-offs. Kina says, if you have a problem with all cast-offs like Allegern, you have a strange way of showing it. Or maybe you hadn't noticed that you're standing next to two of us. Allegern says, maybe we should ask the lady some more questions. I have no part in the endless battle, but answer some questions for me. Alright, good, sure. We'll answer anything we can. So who are you? Me, Denovan, Luca, Timbo, Zad, and all the rest. They're my crew, my men. We're just trying to find a way home from the endless battle. We came through Colne, but it's not exactly a forgiving route. Just trying to figure out where to go next. You can see that her skin does not simply look metallic, it is metal. She catches you looking and tugs her sleeve back down, annoyed. A price of the endless battle. One of the reasons I left. I used to think I'd earn glory there. Thought my nano skills would propel me high. Only room in that exalted air is for cast-offs. The rest of us bleed while you lot laugh. That's why we got out. Bikina says, hold, you came through Colne? What's it like there? She says, haven't been back for centuries, not since Tosh. I couldn't bear the thought of it. It's mostly ruins, mostly. Cursed ground. People tell stories of some kind of genocide hundreds of years ago, but who knows if that's true. We didn't want to go through there, but we did. Huh. What are you doing here? Camping, trying to figure out our next steps. Came through Colne with reluctance and decided it wasn't the best place to plan. Thought we'd get a clearer perspective down here. Instead, there's some sort of cult war going on. We've got to leave sooner than later. I only see Denovan and Luca here. Where are Tempo and Zod? If you can't see them, it's no fault of mine. Frankly, they're lucky they don't have to talk to you. Nice. Looks like you've been resting here a while. Is it safe? It's safe for us. For you, we can make it safe, though, for 100 shins. No thanks, but good to know. Yeah.
I'm going.
Okay. Oh, there's a... Okay, let's actually, before we leave, let's talk to some of these others. Denovan. The man looks up at you momentarily before looking away into the distance as if nothing in particular. He takes a drag on his smoke. His presence strikes you as odd, as if there's something about him was trying to inspire dread in you. What are you doing here? Trying to get home. You get questions, talk to Thalana. You already met her, yeah? Yeah. Okay. How about Luca? He's a big guy. The man is busy reading a strange device, an elegant square of some kind of metal. Odd letters and images flash by on a reflective screen embedded in the square. When you draw near, you notice that the device is plugged into his arm with a long silver wire, and one of the man's eyes is mechanical. Greetings. I am Luca Marigali. Sometimes I read in the older tongue. I uncover great knowledge this way. For instance, the formal education of the young begins in utero, with nervous system uptake inhibitors and microwave transmissions to the developing fetal brain. You see, I do not know the species to which this refers, but I begin to know of them. At any rate, what can I do for you? Tell me about yourself. I have spoken my name already. The knowledge of my character is thus more important. I was a soldier. I travel with my friends. I and my friends travel to our home, or at least this is our plan. I admit to concern for my friends. They seem trapped in the past, paralyzed. They are not as they were when we set out. Nor, to be fair, am I. What do you mean when you say your friends are different? They were full of hope once. We, and a dozen others, set out from our home, an aldea west of Sage's Cliffs, to find fortune in the endless battle. We joined a recruiter in Sage's Cliffs and enlisted with the army of the Changing God. We thought we were prepared. We were not. We were in the trenches. We fought with bolt throwers, energy weapons, and detonations. That first day we saw half our friends obliterated by a rogue particle wave that emanated from our side of the battlefield. And then we woke again in a new reality, our memories of the old world intact but our bodies whole, except for Tempo, who is half dissolved in the new reality. So it went, incremental gains as a whole, with certain consequences carrying into our new lives. Sometimes they would undo all our day's heroism for an unseen advantage. Other times we'd lose a friend forever. One day I was caught half out of a trench. The air exploded above us and I burned. The new reality did not restore me. I spent some weeks under the care of chirurgeons. When I awoke, I was as you see me, and our other friends had been killed. Thalana and Dedovan reacted very differently to me. They say I too have changed. I don't know. I know that I no longer fear. I do not remember much of emotion. I recall the fear and horror, but I do not recall its taste. And when I spoke to them, they agreed that it was time for us to leave before we became these forgotten names, lost in the flux of worlds. Wow.
Done.
Okay. And this battle seems like it doesn't really work out for most people. Let's walk into the darkness. Okay, good. Hope it brings us back to where we started. Okay, let's check out this thing here. A tear in space hangs before you, like a black spot on your retina. Something's different about this tear from the others in the valley. Looking into this one is like looking into an abandoned cave. No breeze or sound or light stir within it, and its edges are slowly disintegrating. Try to determine the nature of the darkness. Let's see. Anybody got a better chance? Nope. Let's just see what we can find out with our base chance. Oh well. It looks a lot like the other floating roofs you've seen, but this one seems half dead. The void within it has no other exit. You have no idea what to do with it, though. Let's step away from it.
I am the very soul of action.
Yes, there it is. We know that. Okay, so we've got...
Fine.
Okay. Oh, these symbols look familiar. These were very similar to the symbols that were left in the, where the murders happened in Sage's Cliffs.
There, in the shadows.
Blob of 3. This corpulent mass is almost too large, but slowly you realize it is 3 beings somehow melded together into one, a fleshy jumble of 3 faces on a single head protruding from a shapeless mass of a torso. 2 of the faces track your approach, while the third mutters under its breath. When it speaks, the 3 voices blend into one buzzing, angry harmony. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you want. Do you seek the mask? Do you climb the leaning obelisk here in the valley, held aloft by Saint Proverbius? The third face begins cursing and drooling. Slimy Julian, wizened, hate them, cold and red, puh. So ill. What are you? An astute question. We are 3, a glaive, a jack, a nano. Missing but 1. We require a 4th. We seek knowledge here in the valley. We pursue the wisdom of ancients in this fallen age. We assess, we judge. But humanity is on the decline. It is only through purity of it and adherence to the old ways that we can achieve enlightenment. Aaron says, well, if you're looking for someone with wisdom, look elsewhere. We scoff in the face of wiseness. We laugh at danger. We lost the train of thought. No matter. You have the aura of a hero and the mind of a simpleton. Can your lineage be so sullied? I'll tell you what can you tell me about this area? I don't know if I want to know so much about this guy. Place of ancient knowledge, place to rest, recover, think, discuss. The memorialists have helped to locate and understand, but they are being supplanted by the new. Hate new. The new leave us alone. They fear blob of 3. As should all. We are prestigious. Okay, fine. When you need a 4th, what do you mean? A 4th to join us, to complete us, to square our circle. Someone to sing to us, to unite us. Suggest someone. If you give them my name, I'll light everything in this valley on fire. That's a promise. I don't think anyone should join you. What? What's wrong with us? We are perfect, pure, old guard of old ways, protector of truth, but respect you for speaking mind. Need one who is similar to us, who knows of songs of power. There are none like us, none. We are pure, pure. Farewell. You'll be back.
Done.
We might be back, but, yeah. Okay, we got like some kind of cat statue. Rising before you is a tall, tapering obelisk, crowned with the carved stone head of some elegant, sharp-eared animal with 6 eyes. Wrapping around the obelisk are bands of engraved hieroglyphics. Examine the stone head. Carved head is mounted on the obelisk, stares out into the distance, its eyes empty and mournful. Examine the hieroglyphs. Except for 4 stylized depictions of the same sharp-eared animal that tops the obelisk, the pictographs make no sense to you. How about the base? Base of the obelisk is smooth, untouched by weathering or other troubles that seem to have eroded much of the other ruins in this place. It sits in a pool of acrid liquid. The liquid smells foul and caustic, but the obelisk appears undamaged. It's unclear how much more of the obelisk lays beneath the pools. The statue's head seems to move until its eyes stare directly into yours. They are still mournful, but no longer empty. A faint, beckoning glimmer shines within. You turn to your companions, but they don't seem to notice that anything has changed. Look into the statue's eyes. A wave of dizziness overcomes you as you gaze into the statue's eyes. You are no longer facing the obelisk. Indeed, you are no longer human. The tail of the dead lock in your mouth drags along the ground as you creep through the dense foliage to the temple. You peek out through the gandu fronds and see the old monk, Nimu, shucking howl pods on the weathered steps. You pad out to greet him, and he grins toothlessly at the sight of you. There she is. There's my brave hunter, and with a gift. How thoughtful. But your work isn't done, sweet girl. There's lots of plenty in the green room. Bring me a dozen more before I finish these howls, and I'll give you your favorite nibble. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what else we got. We have some sort of thing up here.
Ready.
What is this? No? Can't interact with it? Yeah, I can. A tall wire and metal frame stands on top of synth base. The base contains dozens of carvings in a foreign script. The frame has been cunningly devised from strange materials, and within it colored lights curl and intersect like smoke, dancing in wavering helix. The lights occasionally combine to create human figures which dissolve in a second or two without ever resolving into distinct features. Allegren says this was a traditional memorial place for our village, the carvings I mean. The contraption, I built it. He laughs a little, whisper of humor. I don't even know if all these people are dead, but I built it for them anyway. Makina's gaze snaps to him, locked on him, studying his face, but she says nothing. What happened to him? An accident, a terrible accident. What kind of accident? Someone found a device, a frame really, or a weapon. Someone activated it, and then my people were gone. I've been looking for my people ever since, following the trails I could find, trying to find any clues I could about the frame, who made it, what it's for, but I couldn't dig up anything, and I couldn't ever find the traveler who caused the device to be activated. Problem is, that traveler is hard to find, slippery. People know about him, but they don't know where to find him. Maybe we'll have more luck in Mila Vest. Maybe then I'll get some answers. They must know a lot about the changing god. I appreciate your help getting there. Come on, we've spent enough time here. Makina. As Alagern turns away, Makina catches your sleeve and mutters, "So tell me, do you think anyone will mourn our deaths? All around us, ordinary humans commemorating their dead, marking down the legacy of the fallen, expressions of love and respect. But who will do that for us?" She laughs as if dismissing her sadness. No one. I mean, it's not like we've got anyone to commemorate either. What about the villagers from Colm? I think about them every day. I see their faces, hear their laughter, remember Nang's words to me, but they're dead now. Their children are scattered. Who would come here to commemorate them? Just me. Who would maintain a memorial? Just me. When I'm dead, who would even know what that memorial is for? What's the point? Your memorial might spur interest for future generations. They might learn the truth of what happened. She shakes her head, no point, but her eyes are thoughtful as she turns away. Come on. Okay. So without meaning to,
Done.
I actually did one of our little side quests. Okay, let's take a quick look here. We've got some sort of device here. We've got some folks down there. We've got another gateway, it looks like, right there, which leads to here. We've got this guy, Phoenix. We've got some... Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, it looks like there's quite a lot here. Late Minim. Oh, okay, so yeah, these are minims that we're using. Dark Minim, Light Minim, Airship Quay, Black Pass to Colm Village, Thalana. Okay, so yeah, we've got we've talked to a few of these people. It looks like next time we will talk to the remaining people. Maybe see where this thing goes to.
All the time.
Why, I just think of a happy thing, a daring thing, a adventure thing, and then adventure happens.
Now I'm thinking of violent things. Oh my, it really works.
They are hilarious. I swear every time I'm trying to wrap up, they decide to have a little conversation. But anyway, so like I said, next time we'll finish talking to the people here, and we'll see if we can find our way to the Necropolis, and then eventually to Mila Vest. But that'll be next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care.